relaxed, some might say.
I like your coasters,
That's
Joe.
what we like.
This is
No, these are
fancy.
sweet.
Joe's like, I'm going to give you
This is
cocktail
really nice.
napkins.
This is, if I ever had a podcast, I would have set it up just like this.
Isn't this kind of
I'm
great?
like, yeah, I'm like
Can't-
OCD. I'm like neat.
Super casual
Yeah.
here. It's the holidays.
Yeah.
And we are pleased to have a couple of guests in our kitchen. This is Shelly and Patrick Higgins, and they run the Bozeman Children's Theater. They like invented it and stuff.
Yeah.
They started it.
Created it.
Patrick's the executive director. Shelly's the artistic director. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
It's really
thank
cool.
you for being here, and thank you for all you do for our community.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome to help yourself to some of
Oh,
these nuts. You have
crack
to
some
crack
nuts?
them during the interview, which may be loud, but you can throw the shells right on the floor. Michelle loves it when I do that.
Just like Texas Roadhouse or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I've heard.
People come and they say, they're like, those just sit out. How many years have you had that? I'm like, you would not believe how many of these things my kids eat. Like, they love to
Yeah.
crack nuts and eat them.
This was a staple in my house, like for Christmas. The bowl with. Did you ever have that?
No.
We did too.
Absolutely
My
not.
family had it.
Disgusting.
I really liked the Brazil nuts. That was, as a kid, I really liked them. Probably because they were the largest one.
Let's talk about theater.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys both have theater backgrounds, or are you just in children's theater for the money?
That's
Obviously the money.
Yeah.
No, that's really funny. So I think we were probably married for a few years before Shelly even knew I did anything with theater.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I think we were engaged, and I went home to his house, and his mom had all these like framed pictures of him in shows, and I was like, that's interesting. Talk about that. And he was like, oh, I have like a theater degree,
Yeah.
like just like off the cuff.
Yeah, she had no idea.
No idea.
Because I went to school to be a theater. I wanted to be an actor, so I got a performance degree. And then it's somewhere along the line I was like, if I want to be famous, I probably don't really need a degree in it.
Yep.
So I better do something else just in case. So I did theater ed K-12, and I went to go student teach. And my advisor is like, no one wants a theater teacher. You have to get another degree. And I was like, okay.
This one's useless.
So I just did K-8 elementary. And from then I never really looked back. So I did theater all
Okay.
through college. And then we went to Vegas, and that's where we met.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that I did theater as well. So I never really talked about it.
You don't lead with it.
No, I don't start. Hey, I do theater. Yeah,
Yeah.
For reasons we all know.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Joe, that was my thing too. I was a theater major as well. Back when MSU had a theater major, like we had that whole, in the Strand Union, there was a huge theater that used to exist there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But yeah, I was a theater major back in the day. And broad comedy. So like I did a lot of stage stuff. And so I was the same thing. It was like, yeah, I didn't love film. Like I went to Los Angeles, which is where I met him, but like I didn't want to continue on in that direction. So I got into sales. But
there you
you
go.
stuck with it.
And now you're teaching
Natural.
science.
And now she's all very related.
Yeah.
All very related.
Just a bunch of hard turns in her
Oh,
life.
I know. Yeah, so that's how that went. And then it just became a joke at that point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he followed me to a school, and there was this lovely older teacher that loved theater, but would talk to you forever, like in the teacher's lounge.
Yes.
And one day she was talking about how she wanted to do plays, and I just thought it'd be really funny because when he teaches in the same school with me, like he doesn't talk to anyone. He's like in his room, like
Yeah.
And I thought this is gonna be really funny. I'm gonna tell her he has a theater degree, and she's gonna talk to him for like 4 days, and it's gonna drive him crazy. And I thought it was kind of a joke, honestly. I was like,
Hilarious.
you should go talk to my husband. He has a theater degree, and that's honestly how you got to do your first show.
That's why we're sitting here.
That's what kicked everything into
Oh,
motion.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Started with one show, and then it just kept building and building.
Yeah, no, we started at Irving, and we did the show on the stage in the gym. So the Irving's gym stage is much like if you've been to Hawthorne or Longfellow. So it's like a tiny stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like, okay, I'd seen this play, Seussical, when I was in high school, and I loved it. And I remember they had like T-shirts and stuff. So I think we can do that. So I put the sign up out, and it was like hand paper sign-ups back then. And 23 kids signed up, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then 4 days later, 72 kids had signed up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so I really had no idea what I was doing. But we did this play, Seussical. We had all 72 kids on this. I mean, the stage isn't much bigger than this table.
Come on.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
tiny.
And I was kind of making it up. And like the day of our opening night, I was like, we don't have any microphones. How? That's not going to be good. So I had a friend who reached out to Music Villa back then, and they let us borrow a bunch of microphones and like speakers, and everyone loved it. And that was it. Like I was like, oh, I made it up. I faked it, and we did this great show, and the kids loved it. And that's really how we started.
And since I made him, I set that lady upon you. My penance was I had to do the costumes. So I had like $100, I think was my budget for 100 kids. And so it was like totally community driven, like me just texting these parents, because I taught at the school. I taught 4th grade, and being like, do you have a gray shirt? And and the kids, we went and watched the play, like your dress rehearsal, like all the teachers brought the kids to watch it. And I remember, because I don't like to be involved in things that are not good. And so I was like, please just don't let it be terrible. Because I had no idea if he could do it or not. Like,
I didn't either.
And one of the lead girls in your class was the sweetest girl from my class. And she was a child that, no joke, in my class, like, never spoke words and was the shyest kid in my entire class. And he was like, she's gonna be the lead. And I was like, this is not gonna go well. Like, I can't even hear her ask to go to the bathroom. Like, what's gonna happen? And when we watched that thing, she was like, it was what actually made me believe in it, because I'm not a theater person. I've never done any of that. But to see that girl be like, it changed her. Like, she was confident. I'm not a crier, and I was like crying in the back because I was so proud of her. And like, it really did, I think, change her like, she was more confident and like
found herself.
Yes. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, for how shy she was, I was like, my mind was blown. And so then I was like, okay, I'll do the costume.
It was a really great experience. And so, that's kind of what
That's amazing.
kept us rolling.
It's so transformative for kids.
Yeah.
So that was your first show. Now, how many shows do you guys do a year, roundabout?
Well,
we don't like to talk about it,
So-
because I get like hives.
that was in May.
Sorry.
That was in May 2018.
Okay.
And we just Spamalot was our 19th production.
Okay.
In 6 years. So, but now we'll be doing 8 musicals this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we've completed 2. We're in rehearsals for 1, and I was telling Joe we're doing auditions tomorrow morning for our 4th. So we're about halfway through our season for this school
And
year.
Spamalot was 4 different schools.
Spamalot was it was Sacagawea, CJ, Montfortin, and Headwaters. So I guess the collective, like, we think of like the middle schools in Bozeman, right? Because they're all going to be going to the high schools.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like to think of like kids who are going to be going to high school in Bozeman, like they're Bozeman's kids, right? It's not just CJ and Sac.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 schools, and that was 93 students from those 4 schools. Yeah, it was the best show ever, right?
It was so much fun.
Oh
I
my
loved
God,
it.
that's really, really funny.
I laughed so hard.
He's really humble too.
Well,
Hey, no,
As
you
all
shouldn't
theater
be.
people
Yeah,
are.
no.
Yeah.
Is show selection something that you both work on?
Yeah, no, I
Together?
mean, so we've neglected to mention Tawny, who's the creative director, and it's really like
I've worked with Tawny some.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's at Morning Star.
Yeah, Tanya's amazing, and to be honest, and she might disagree, I say, what show can you costume? And they kind of tell me what show we're going
Got
to
it.
be doing.
Okay.
Now, we've actually gone more to a menu system, so we give it to the PACs. And we used to pick like, we really want to do this show or that show. But now we say, here's the list of our shows, here's our pricing, and the PACs actually pick the shows now.
I didn't know that.
But
Yeah.
there's some we won't.
Makes it easy.
We won't do.
There's some we won't want to do ever again.
Yeah. Or
Can you mention them? Are
Yeah,
they-
no, it's not because it was a bad show. It was one of the greatest shows we've done, but it was really difficult. It was Mary Poppins.
and we did it with a little
we
elementary.
did
I
an-
think we could do it with middle schoolers.
Yeah, we did an hour-long version, and there was just so many songs and reprises in Part 3 and Cherry Tree Lane Part 9. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why
It's too complex.
It was pretty complex.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so you've got 8 shows so far this year, right? And then you'll complete how many for the year, you think?
No,
And
wait,
8 all year.
8 all-
total.
yeah.
What do you think your limit would be?
Our limit's 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Says
my
with
question.
authority.
Well, I've built out our schedule for 2026, 27.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, because you have to get ahead to get into like the facilities that we use.
Right.
And so we know that we're going to be doing 7 elementaries, 7 of the 8 Bozeman elementaries,
Okay.
4 of the middle schools, and hopefully next winter we'll do a high school production.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We need to clone Patrick's. We could do more because we have so many amazing like music directors we work with and choreographers. It's finding another Patrick to go to like Belgrade, Livingston, all these other schools.
Yeah.
Like there's so many communities that are so close that like we would love to be in all places, but until
maybe that's your future business model.
There's clearly a need. Right.
Yeah.
But let's talk about. So it does stress me out to think about just how many children
That was a deep
you're
sigh.
dealing with at one time. Whether it's your summer camps that you're doing or these school productions, we're talking about 100 kids basically, and you are coordinating them. It's impressive to see them all get where they need to go, and you don't have any adults out there pointing in any direction. Like these are largely child-run shows.
Right.
What's the secret to the? Have you like discovered this along the way? Or are you just born with it? What is happening?
I mean, I think almost everyone that works for us is a teacher. I think that's a good base to
Super
start.
Yeah.
But then he's good. It's his crazy, beautiful mind.
And
So
I've
I
heard
can't
mixed
speak to that.
reviews about you from kids. Some are like, "Oh, Patrick is amazing. He's so funny." And then a couple of little girls the other day were like, "He is kind of mean." And it's like, do you just have multiple sides, whatever you need in the
That's
moment?
all of my classes, though. I'd say there's a bunch of kids that are like, I love her, she's my favorite teacher, and then a few kids that are probably like, she's too strict. Do you know what I mean?
Sue Amos, who ran the theater at the Wilson, she summed it up perfectly because she was like, theater and you're a teacher, specifically a kindergarten teacher at that point. And she's like, that's why these shows work.
Yeah.
And she went on to say, sometimes you have teachers who know nothing about theater who try and they come and do it. And they can take care of the kids and they can tell them like how to do it, but they can't do the show.
Right.
Or you have people who love theater who don't know how to handle children.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so I think the simplest answer is being teachers and me having grown up in theater, like from high school on, is what makes the shows work. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm mean when I tell them they can't talk because we have to sing the song.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like we do try and have like the best time, and like them just leave super happy and like. Yeah, like they just have this enjoyable experience. But
Wallace was depressed when the show ended, for sure. He
I
very
was
sad.
depressed when the show ended.
There's a little bit of a vacuum, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like with myself and the middle schoolers this year and last year when we did Beauty and the Beast, that was the ones where you felt the kids have that like deflation and like, oh man, what are we gonna? Someone said to the boy who played King Arthur, he's in my class at school, and he was like, I feel like I don't have a purpose now.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, that's really profound, heartbreaking, and also great at the same time.
Yes.
Because you had such a wonderful experience that you do need something to fill that.
And now you will seek out that purpose.
Exactly.
That fuel.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Or become a drinker.
Goes either way. It's one or the other.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could happen.
Well, you could write a book on classroom/green room management. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is.
we want to do a documentary, just follow us around, but we just need to find
no
a
one
film
wants to
crew.
watch that.
They
You got extra
might.
time, it seems like. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just for us to have fun, like it would be cool.
It would be cool. We'll follow you. So you have done so many different fun shows. Are there any adult shows that you would love to be turned into a children's theater show? Rocky Horror Picture Show, Rent.
Yeah.
Rent would be a hard one.
Rent
though.
Junior.
Yeah, Rent
Junior.
Junior.
There are some
Like,
juniors
just
where you're like,
take
really?
the AIDS out, but some of the songs are really fun.
I heard a rumor
Little girl
that
singing Out Tonight.
that they did Rent, and I don't even know if I should say this, and you can cut it, but that they replaced AIDS with diabetes, and I was like, I don't think that's a
Who
good
did?
idea. It was like not the people who do the shows, but a high school somewhere in the United States.
That is so
a few
funny.
years ago decided that this would be a good idea. No, to answer the question, it's the opposite of I would like Tarzan, or not Tarzan. I'm sorry, is it
You do
Tarzan? Hercules. That's the one.
Hercules, that's what
Hercules.
There's
okay.
no
Sweet
Hercules
story.
musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would be pretty sweet. And I did joke with someone the other night that maybe I need to write my own Sandlot, the musical, because people would like to see that.
It would be your opus.
Tap
Yeah.
into that nostalgia.
Yeah, can you
I
imagine
agree.
just like 50 like Squints? Like it's Squints' song. I don't know what
Yes.
it's called, but
Yes.
it's probably called Wendy Peppercorn or something. But
All right.
I would watch it. I
Yeah.
would watch it.
See?
But you got to find the time in between all the things that you're doing
Yeah, all the
currently.
shows. We're
Yeah.
doing The Wedding Singer in
I saw that.
in April.
That's
So
a high school?
that's been my
Okay.
dream. If I ever direct a high school show, I want to do The Wedding Singer. So I don't know if I'm going to after. If this is our one and done and we don't really need to be in the high schools, if they've covered that with BHS and GHS. So I'm like, let's just do it. Let's see what happens.
Knock it out.
We'll see if Smith will audition.
Yeah.
He may. Yeah, you may have an extra actor. All right. Earlier, before this interview, you and I kind of talked about maybe your plans to try to bring this program to Title I schools.
Right.
What would it take to make that happen?
Yeah, so we're doing Whittier right now, which is
Okay.
a Title I school, and in talking with Whittier, it's like their budget is not near what some other elementary schools are, and while they want to do it, like I went to their PAC meeting and like was fielding questions like about the price and what it costs, and because what Shelly said is like we have teachers and we feel like we have the best team, so we pay them well, and the shows are what they are. So I'm like, leave this meeting like, how can we cut the price down for this school? And so we decided to run a campaign to be able to help fund. So Whittier, we got to knock it out of the park on December 5th and 6th because we want them to come back.
Yeah.
We want to be able to offer them a different pricing structure as a Title I.
Yeah.
And then in 2026 in the spring, we'll be doing Highlight, which is another Title I school. But
Okay.
they have a year and a half from now to get those funds and to try and fundraise to be able to pay for us to come in. And it's really important to us to do those schools and to
Yeah.
help them fundraise and kind of give them the structure.
Right.
Yeah, so just finding businesses that also just love it as much as we do is
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting them to come see the shows.
Right, exactly.
They'll definitely help fund it. Yeah. I work
And
at a
I'm-
Title I school, so I appreciate you guys working with them because, there's no money there.
There's no, and I think it's really hard too. Like we've taught, we started teaching in Las Vegas, and we taught in a really, at-risk school, and so we know what that's like, and we know what it's like to see kids struggling, and oftentimes because you're so concerned with reading and math and all of that, which is so important, obviously, but the arts kind of fall, to the wayside because they're, the focus is on academics purely. And that's really sad to us, when we see that, because then there's kids that are never being exposed to any of that, and that could be their jam, So, and it's also hard to see the disparity between schools in Bozeman where, one school is just easily able to write a check, and Whittier's, down the street, and they're struggling so hard to say, this is half of our whole money that we raise for a year, and to commit to that is so amazing of that school to say, we value the arts and we want to make this happen for our kids. But yeah, if the community can step in and support them, I think that'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing I said on the Spamalot stage is one thing that we do give back to every school is the ticket sales. So whatever they make in tickets, they get that back to help offset the fee.
Oh, that's great.
So we just want
Okay.
people to go buy tickets to their show. I was like, if you can't go, buy a ticket anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's really a donation.
Yeah.
To right back to Whittier. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I was wondering, because these shows have to be so expensive to put on. I mean, you guys aren't asking us for materials and things like that. I mean, we've got our kids, and I'm buying the pictures, by the way, and we bought extra
Yeah.
seats and things like
Right.
that. But
Yeah.
But yeah, that's got to be difficult. So ticket sales are the bulk of it. Scholarships, sponsorships, things like that.
Yeah, the
Not
schools can get their own
sponsorships.
Every school we really encourage to go get their own sponsors.
Okay.
So the PAC will write us the check
Okay.
in different installments throughout the production, and then we say to them, we're not going to tell anyone we're a nonprofit, they know, but we're not going to try and get donations until we step on the stage and we talk about our camps and we talk about our other things.
Right.
But up until show night, get to as many businesses as you can.
Yeah.
And get those sponsors, and you're going to get tickets. So, in one of the past shows we did, they got $4,500 in sponsors, and they
Awesome.
pulled about $3,800 in ticket sales. And so that school is feeling pretty good, and so are we, because
Totally.
we want them to succeed and want us back, right?
Yeah.
It's not a good business model to be give me all your money and we'll see you later.
Right. And I
Yeah.
mean, schools that really go out hard and get sponsorships, I mean, some make money by having us come because they get so many in sponsors, and then they get all the ticket sales. So
Yeah.
at the
And
end
when
of
you
the
have
day,
100 kids in a
Yeah.
production, you're selling a lot of tickets.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. We did over 10,000 for Spamalot. And that gets divided amongst those 4 schools depending on their percentage of kids that were in the show.
Need to start doing pay-per-view live stream as
Yeah,
well.
we need to pay for that. Yeah, pay for that live stream.
And speaking of paying for things, we talked about wireless mics as well. Is that still a need? I mean, obviously that technology and having that is so huge in these productions.
Yeah, so we did get 8 of our own mics. Like we did a $25,000 campaign that I think within 3 weeks we completed it, and we had a big anonymous donor who matched the first 12,000.
That's great.
And so we've seen a huge difference in our shows with those 8 mics because we're so lucky to be able to use BSD7's microphones. And now we used to just supplement with whatever we had lying around. Now we take ours as the main mics and supplement with what they have. Nice. But we know that some of those mics in some of the facilities are older, and so eventually someday we'd like to have 8 more and just have 16 of our own highest quality mics that aren't popping or they weren't running out of the battery and stuff
and
like
you
that.
know inside and out, you know exactly
right.
what wonkiness they have to them, which is huge.
The quirkiness of the mics.
To a very serious topic, some of your emails specify that the children are to bring non-messy snacks.
Yeah.
And then it says that goldfish are a messy snack. I need to know the sort of horror story behind this stance that you've
never
taken.
worked
Which,
in a classroom.
to me, is controversial to call
one
goldfish
non-teacher at the table.
a messy snack.
Yeah.
Well, here's
That's
the thing.
one thing that gets crushed. all over.
I was gonna say, it's not the goldfish that you're looking at in your hand.
No.
It's the goldfish that drops on the floor and gets stepped on.
And it becomes crumbs.
1,000
You
pieces.
can't get it out. See, Michelle knows.
So what's the perfect non-messy snack?
A granola bar.
Granola bar.
Yeah,
okay.
chocolate chip, not peanut butter, because of nut allergies.
Yep.
So,
Protein bars.
Yeah, a
even
Costco,
better.
the blue
Yeah.
package. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
The
do.
Kirkland blue chocolate chip granola bar. That is a perfect.
We'll
snack.
donate one of those
Yeah.
to the next show for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. Now you know. You
That's
just
so
have
great.
your son get some goldfish and step on them in his
Yeah,
room.
put it like the basement with a bag of goldfish and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Luckily, my room doesn't have carpet, but God forbid if you have a carpeted room with goldfish
Yeah.
and you're sitting there with one of those dadgum vacuum, what do you push brooms?
Yeah.
You're just
Interestingly,
going over the
yeah.
crumbs over and over again.
Interestingly enough, you're the only parent who read that part of the email.
No,
There's
them
a
all.
lot of goldfish.
I read them all.
Some say I'm
Don't mind me.
I give too much information.
no, can't ever be enough, really, for us.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna have some
walnut.
nuts
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Are you quite
It's
all right?
not-
What
that's
did you-
messy,
what
but
are
I
you
like
a
doing?
messy
Stop
snack.
it! No. What did you
I'll clean it up.
That's a messy snack.
That's on the list with goldfish.
I'm unwell right now.
He did.
Anyway.
He did warn us.
I did.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha. So, over the years you've been doing this, I'm going to try and not let rage build up inside of me. What is one of your favorite moments that has stood out as a children's theater director?
Yeah.
Times 2.
And don't just tell that same story again
know.
about the
It
little
was so
girl
good.
finding herself.
It is a good one.
Well, we have the unique. You have one because I have one. Do you have to think?
No, I got
We
it.
have the unique situation to be in the classrooms with a lot of these kids that are in our shows. And last year, one of the girls was going to sign up for Mary Poppins, and she's like, "I have to do soccer." And I'm like, "Okay, no, yeah, go do soccer." But this is going to be more fun.
I know.
And so she worked it out, and her mom emailed me, and she was like, "Okay, we think we figured it out." And so she was in Mary Poppins. She was Mary Poppins. And
Nice.
it's like the last night, I'm kneeling down because Mary Poppins, I burned about 15,000 calories during the
was just
show.
running.
Because I had to just run and run. There's so many entrances and so many songs. And I'm taking a breath and I'm kneeling down. I feel this hand on my shoulder and this whisper in my ear, "You're right. It was better than soccer." And I was like, thank goodness. Because I didn't know if it was going to be.
Quite a pledge you had made.
But it was, yeah. It really was a special moment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
That's awesome.
I mean, I guess behind the scenes, the other reason we did this is our oldest daughter, Paige, was into theater. And so having a space for her as a parent has been really important to us. And I mean, she's really the reason why we push so hard to get into the middle schools, is because we're like, she's gonna age out. Like, she's, when she was like a 4th grader, we're like, okay, how do we keep this going? Because she's gonna get to middle school and this is gonna be really sad. And she started with us. We brought her with us to Irving when we first started. So she was in a show when she was in kindergarten. And then we moved. And so she was zoned for Longfellow, which at the time we weren't in that school. And that was like, she's like, can you sneak me into Hawthorne? Like, you know, so that we can do the shows. And then COVID happened and the school district changed because we couldn't bring kids with our own children to the schools we worked at. But when COVID happened, they changed the rules so she could come with us. And that was really, we were like, well, you know, you were at one elementary school, now you've moved, like, don't you just want to stay at Longfellow, which is such a lovely school? And she's like, but I can't do the play here. And like, that was she was willing to leave her friends and move again just to do that. And
Wow.
and so for us, like,
It's telling.
yeah, and she's not a sports kid, and like, you know, that's not her thing. And I just think it's so important to figure out what your kids' things are, because I think if they have that, like, they're gonna be okay. They have friends, they have this, and they feel fulfilled in some way. And so, you know, that's been kind of the driving force. And our other kids they're funny, they're somewhat into it sometimes. And, you know, our youngest twins are in kindergarten, and so they'll be in their kind of show, and they seem to like it. But our oldest and they might grow to be more dedicated like she, or they might find their own thing. But
Yeah, no, our youngest, well, actually both of our kids, because like Joe and I are both like theater kids and also creatives. Neither one of our kids are giant sports. We tried soccer for so many years, and my oldest finally, right before
Very
he started,
coordinated.
Yeah,
Like
I
they
mean, like
could be.
Smith was a decent defender, but like after years of soccer and so much money and a lot of like stupid travel, you guys. But after that many years, he was just like, I don't think I'm ever going to get any better at this. And then thank God, like right after he kind of quit, he found speech and debate. And he's just like, he got varsity his freshman year and like all this stuff. And it's like, you found your thing.
Yeah, his purpose.
And
That's all
it's
you
so
want is that
important.
purpose. And he loves music and playing piano and guitar. And Wallace loves the theater, just like loves it. He could ditch everything else and just absolutely. He did the high school play and this play, and he's like,
Yeah.
"What's next? What's next?" So we
what did
appreciate what you
miss
do.
in terms of questions? Did we cover
you
it
did
all?
such a good job.
I think we
I feel like
covered-
you knew more about us than we did.
Comprehensive?
No, I
I
think we covered.
That's the goal. We do have a game to play.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, always. Okay.
He never tells me what the game is, and I never like any of
If
them.
you
There
had told
hasn't been a
Shelly there
single
was a
game.
game, she
It's
wouldn't
like a
have-
baby shower where I'm like, do I have to go? Am I going to have to fill something
gosh.
out?
You're gonna
I
like
hate
this.
The games.
Dumb
I
marmot
RSVP'd
game.
to this.
This one's called No Small Parts. Okay. Only small actors. Let's see if you can guess how tall these so-called leading men are.
Okay.
All right.
Did read a lot of
Let's
People
talk
magazine.
about small actors.
Joe
Let's
likes
start
this one.
with Jack Black. How tall is Jack Black?
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to say he's 5'7".
I was gonna.
Do I guess on this one?
Sure.
Okay, you
You,
guess.
no, you go. I think you know.
I was gonna say 5'8".
I was gonna say 5'6". You think I'm joking, but that's what you said 5'7".
Yeah.
5'6".
5'6" is correct.
Ooh.
So
Man.
short he could fit in a Kung Fu Panda's pouch. Did you know pandas are marsupials? I didn't realize
did
that
not know
until
that.
Did know that.
No,
They're
we learned
not.
something.
They're
oh,
not. I was
My
kidding.
sister said that she wanted to fit me inside her panda pouch once, and I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind, something different."
All right.
They're not marsupials.
They're not.
Okay.
Michael J.
kangaroos are.
Fox. How tall is Michael J. Fox?
Michael J. Fox.
5'4".
I have no idea.
5'5".
He is itty bitty. I'm gonna go with 5'6". No, 5'7".
5'7". Patrick's right again. 5'4".
You are good. I don't know these
Scientists
things. This is why I don't like
believe-
these games. I'm terrible at them.
It's
all
a
of
result
them.
of all of his time travel.
Not good at guessing.
Tough on the joints, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh, he is
How
short, too.
about Harry
short?
Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter's
I'm going with 5'1". I'm done.
Okay.
5'5".
Oh yeah, pandas are marsupials.
5'7".
You're right.
5'7".
Can't believe I thought.
Shelley is correct. Daniel Radcliffe is 5'5".
I'm very competitive secretly, and
That's
I'm dying
good.
inside
Yeah. So
that
you
he
have
was
one,
winning.
and I have 2 points.
Don't
so.
Very
talk about your
nice.
points.
Oh, I have none points, you guys.
But he
I
is
never get
British, so he's 165 centimeters, and now I'm not sure if that's short or
I
not.
don't know.
Yeah, they did 8 movies with him playing a kid. He better be short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd think he'd be short.
It'd be like Chinese women
Good
finding
stage
their
actor.
feet. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
boy. All right, let's dig into the archives. Charlie Chaplin. How old is Charlie? Or
mean
how
how
tall,
tall?
was
How
Charlie
old?
J?
He's not old anymore. I don't know, 5'6".
I'm gonna go because he's of the past, and I feel like they were shorter.
They were.
5'2".
Ooh.
Like I'm gonna go real short.
I was gonna say that, but
Okay.
I'll go with 5'3" just because you took mine.
Nobody got it. 5'4".
Oh.
You were.
It doesn't count though. I didn't.
It's not like
God, he
Price
was
is Right
tiny.
rules
In
or
a
something.
competition, he was small. Why do you think he grew the Hitler mustache? It was to distract people. That was like,
How
All right.
wide was his mustache? How many centimeters?
Yeah.
I don't know that. In centimeters, don't
Yeah.
go pound sand. Go eat some nuts. All right, last one. Danny DeVito, famously short.
I was
but how
hoping you'd
short?
ask that. I don't know, but I'm gonna say 4'8".
4'8".
He is little. I think
that
you're right.
short?
He may be under 5
gonna
feet.
say 4'8".
'Cause Rita was also just a small. She was shorter than 5 foot too.
Who are we talking about? Rhea Perlman.
Rhea, not Rita.
Is that his,
Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhea Perlman is
Yeah,
his
she's
wife.
short.
Yeah.
Played Carla on Cheers.
You don't
think she
believe
was
it's in
under-
the fours, but I do.
4'9". 4'9".
4'10".
Oh.
Shelly Weds 4'10". Danny DeVito.
Little Danny.
Nice.
Would he seem taller if he went by Dan? Danny is not a tall man's
Not a
name.
tall man's name.
And his wife, Rhea Perlman, towers over him at 5 feet even.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless.
How about that? But that
She
was
looks shorter
no
than
small
him.
parts.
I
She's
think
a
it's
little bit
'cause she's
taller.
He may be
Skinny.
wearing risers too.
Just lift him up.
If I were him, I'd wear risers.
Silly game.
Thank you.
Played.
You guys
You
won.
guys- I think it was a
I think you
tie.
tied.
It's important to
right?
tie.
Yeah.
It's important
In
to tie.
marriages,
Yeah.
right?
I literally lose
good
every
thing.
game we play because I'm terrible at guessing. I think I just panic, but it really doesn't bother me because I'm not terribly competitive.
She's competitive.
I'm darkly competitive.
not. I don't know
pretend
why.
I'm not, but
Yeah. I kind of wish I did have that competitive edge to me, but I don't, which is probably fine, I guess.
yeah.
We are all winners because the interview is over.
Thank you so
It
much.
was painless. I was
Yeah.
really nervous
You were
about
nervous.
this. Yeah, he's a theater person, so he was fine. But I try to not go out on stage.
You
And
flourished.
hide. Yeah.
You did great. You were that girl that we all thought was going to be shy, but you were not.
Standing ovation.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, it was so
Am I
nice.
supposed to stand? I'm not going
You don't have to
No,
stand.
don't do that.
It's over. We're good.
I know I'll rip this microphone off.
Let's
the
all
table.
throw nutshells on the floor now.
I know. You better clean that up.